Hello everyone, this is Jim Kozak from the Davie Resource Group's IT Services Department. In today's installment of TK8 video tutorial series, we're going to cover an introduction to the homepage. The homepage is a public-facing component of the site, and we're going to cover what the public can see if they navigate to that site, an overview of the public tools, and also logging into the system, which the public can't do. So let's go ahead and get started. When you navigate to the TreeKeeper URL, you'll come to this page, and as you can see, it's a very map-centric tool. And it also, working with the map, follows basic rules of any mapping system that you're probably used to, like Google Maps or Bing or any mapping tools like that. So for example, I can use my mouse button, my mouse scrolling tool, to scroll and zoom in. I can, by pushing my finger away from me, I zoom in. To pull my finger back towards me on the mouse scroll wheel, I zoom out. I also have a plus sign here in the upper right hand corner that I can zoom in or zoom out. There's a tool tray over here on the right hand side that contains really all of the tools that you're able to use. Another way that you can zoom in is to select this box and draw a square, and that will allow you to zoom in. A little bit of a pro tip: if you are using a computer with a mouse and keyboard, if you hit shift and left click to draw a square, you can zoom in by using the shift left click. So however you want to zoom in or out, those are the basic mechanics that are involved. If you were to left click on a site and select the site, you would get basically a call out box that gives high level information for that particular site. So in this case, I can see site information that's a sawtooth oak, site ID, maintenance need, diameter, remote ID. And if I were to click on this circle in the call out box, I get more detailed information. So again, high level information, more detailed information. So this is what we would consider the TreeKeeper view site screen. We've built into the view site screen several interactive inset maps. So for example, if I were to zoom in or out on this inset map, I would also get the same information as on the larger map. And if I wanted to, I could go ahead and switch sites, and that will bring me into the view site screen of the new site that I selected. So you can see in this case, we're looking at a Norway maple at 115 Windward. I'm also able to view the street view using the inset map as well. So I can zoom in or out on that as well. And there's that Norway maple that we had pinned that we're looking at. So the two inset maps, the overview map with the selectable content and the street view map. The view site screen is separated into species information and site information. Now you can see in this case, this is a demonstration site, and there's probably a little bit more information available or viewable to the public on this site than most would want viewable on their site. But any of these fields you have the ability to mark them viewable or not viewable in the administration center once you log in. So for example, you may not want your public to be able to see the primary maintenance need of the tree or the secondary maintenance need of the tree. Those things can be hidden, and I will show you in a later video how to do that. The site is also, the view site screen is also separated out by site information and also benefits information. So clicking on the benefits tab will bring up the tree benefits for this specific tree. Just as in TreeKeeper, at the site level, you can view the benefits on a site-by-site basis. So a few other tools that we have available to us over here on the tool tray are a select by rectangle, a deselect by rectangle, a select by polygon, a deselect by polygon. We've covered the zoom in tool, and we have a clear selection. So for example, if I were to do a select by rectangle and select a group of trees, I now have a subset of the total data selected. And a difference between TreeKeeper and TreeKeeper 8 is now the site matches screen is now down at the bottom of the screen and can be expanded, stretched, reduced, however you want to use it. One of the really nice components of TreeKeeper 8 is you have the ability to undock the site matches screen. So for example, if you were working with two computer screens the way I do, I could move the data screen, the data window over to my second screen, and I could be working with the data in one window and the map component in the other. If I were to push pin one of these sites, the site becomes centered. That site is also highlighted, and the call out box now switches over to that particular tree. And as I move my mouse cursor and click on these trees, the highlight will move from tree to tree and also give me the call out box. Again, the high level information for that particular site. So I can see I have a total of 11 sites selected, and the site information is really all I can see for these particular sites in the site matches screen. If I were to close the site matches screen, it redocks for me, and I can minimize that or maximize it as I see fit. Additionally, on the tool tray, there's some tools like the species or the tree benefits. And you can see that the benefits that are calculated here are for the subset of data that I have selected. So if I were to go back to my map tools and I were to deselect those selected trees and go back to the tree benefits, you can see that there's 0 trees selected, but it's giving me the total number of trees and the total yearly eco benefits: greenhouse gas benefits, water benefits, energy benefits, air quality benefits, and property benefits. Again, if I were to switch over and select a set of data by either using a map selected set or by doing a data query, that information that's presented in the tree benefits tab and on the dashboard overview. So for example, here's a condition breakdown, but this condition breakdown is restricted to this subset of data. So any of the dashboard overview reports that you would run are, by default, they will show the total inventory, but if you have a subset of data selected by either a map selected set or a data search, then you are able to basically just view the information for that subset. So those two tools right there, the dashboard and the tree benefits, those will adjust based on the set of data and only showing the information for the set of data that you're looking at. So let's go ahead and do a data search now that we know how to do a map selected search. In the data search, I'm able to switch between facilities in an inline fashion for whatever type of search that I'm doing. I can determine whether I want to do a species related search or a site related search. In this case, I'm going to just go ahead and search for Windward Lane. And there's, I can start typing wind and that will autocomplete for me. If I started typing ward, Windward Lane would also come up. So you've got that searchability in there. If I go ahead and select Windward Lane and then go and hit my search tool, I'll see that all of the trees that are marked as being on Windward Lane will come up. And if I want to get some information about that, again, I can use the dashboard as an overview. So I can see, for example, the condition here of these 154 trees, or I can switch to the benefit and I can see that there's 54 trees selected, and these are the benefits just for those trees. In the site matches screen, the site matches screen will also show me I have a total of 154 trees, and if I wanted to search for a particular tree in that set, I can go ahead and search that. So for example, if I lived at 138 Windward Lane and I wanted to see my tree, I could go ahead and view the tree in front of my house and I can view the information. So I can see that it's a red maple. It's got one trunk. It's got a maintenance of young tree train. I can see the tree in the overview map. I can switch to my neighbor's tree if I like, and I can view that site in the street view window. So if some more information about the tree I would be able to find out, I can find out some site information. I can find out the yearly eco benefits that my tree is providing. So that's information that I can find out about a particular tree. If I were something like a neighborhood association, or if this were a park, I would be able to get, for example, then the benefits that the total yearly eco benefits that those trees are providing. So again, this is your public facing site, and again, these are a few of the tools that you're going to be able to that the residents of your community will be able to use. Another nice feature of TreeKeeper 8 is if I wanted to select a set of data and I only wanted to show the selected data and not the surrounding trees, I can deselect the surrounding trees and only see the selected data. I can also switch to Google Satellite View from Google Street View. So again, if I wanted to see the underlying Google aerial photography, I can go ahead and view the sites with the aerial photography turned on. We also have gold metal tree link, which is a layer that you can turn on or off, and those trees will appear as a brighter yellow. There is a report builder. If you want to create reports and make those reports available to the public to see, you can do that. Those reports will be over here in the custom report section, and if you were to select one of these reports, the report would show up here. In the TreeKeeper system, you can create reports that are visible only to you. They're visible to only certain people or restricted to certain groups, and we'll get into that functionality in some later videos. And that is a fairly quick, but I think thorough overview of the public-facing component to the TreeKeeper 8 software. Now, for those of you who have TreeKeeper logins, who are either administrators or users of the TreeKeeper system, you'll be able to go in and ahead and log into the system, and you'll notice that you have more tools available to you, as well as the ability to see any fields that are hidden from the public, any work records, work orders, calls, reports that are okayed for your group. And the way that you go about logging in is you just click the login button in the upper right hand corner. You enter your username and password, and you select login. Now the system will reload, and now you'll see that I have more tools available to me. For example, I have the update login, I have the data transfer tab, and I have the administration center. And I also have in my search mechanism, for example, in this inventory, there's risk searches available to you that were not available to the public. In the next video in the series, we're gonna give another overview of the system, but from the perspective of a TreeKeeper user. So stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.